What's good, family? Welcome back to another video. I just thought I would take my phone out, just press record and just speak my mind, because I just got off work right now and I don't know, I'm not really in the mood to listen to music. Every time I leave work, I usually put on just music or just somebody's YouTube video, but I'd rather just talk about what's been going on inside of my life recently. So in my perspective, in my experience, I feel like the universe, God, the Most High, the powers that be, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to believe in, I feel like every single day they're communicating with you. Even if it's like the smallest things that you would think it's just something that you shouldn't even bat your eye towards, or you know, those things where you're like, oh no, that was just nothing, that was nothing big, like it's you know, it's whatever, just brush it to the side and keep moving. Every little thing is a sign, every little thing is a clue, every little thing could be used as proof or evidence or whatever you need to solve whatever it is you're going through, or not even just solving problems, just like signs to just get on the right path, you know what I'm saying, or just signs from the universe to nudge you into the right direction, things along the lines of that. So, and it doesn't even have to be signs, it doesn't even have to be the universe giving you any clues or any advice, any tips, any signs. It could sometimes be like the universe just trying to make sure that you're aware that it's communicating with you. You know, sometimes it'll like, hey, like, wake up, I'm trying to talk to you, I'm trying to communicate with you right now. That's another way the universe could communicate with you. So through my experience, there's three different examples that I have for you guys. So the first example was, I was at work and I don't know, I just felt like really down in that moment. So, because you know, when you go to work, anytime you enter just an atmosphere of a bunch of people, or just a work setting, or just a place congested with a lot of energy, whether it be people, whether it be electronics, whether it be whatever, as soon as you come around that environment, your energy changes right off the bat. Like, as soon as I walk into work, my energy changes. And it could be like, it could be good, it could be sometimes bad. It just depends on how I wake up that morning and how I view certain things and my perspective. Most of the times I could be nice, some of the times I could be just not talking to nobody, but that's besides the point. That's just me going off on a tangent there. But the first example was, I was feeling down and I saw this lady that I work with. She works at self-checkout, and we happened to cross each other, and she just randomly gave me a hug. Like, out of nowhere, she just randomly gave me a hug, and she was like, pretend like nobody saw that, and then she just walked away. And I was like, yo, I really needed that, but I didn't, like, I didn't express that I needed that. But in the back of my head, I'm like, hey, I could really, I didn't even want a hug. That's the thing. Like, I'm not trying to say I was looking for a hug. It just, like, that's just an example of the universe using somebody else's vessel to do whatever it is that compels them. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be good or bad. The universe was just using that vessel to express joy, to give me that hug in that moment. She probably didn't realize what she was doing. She probably didn't know why she gave me a hug, but she felt compelled to, and she did it anyway because her higher self told her to. You know, that voice in her head told her to. She got that download. So that's one example. Another example is, I was pushing carts outside, and I wasn't even supposed to be pushing carts to begin with. I was supposed to be in the back and market, just stocking shelves and stuff. And they called me up front. They're like, hey, can you push carts? We haven't had a cart attendant. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I'll go out there. And, you know, usually I'm like, damn, like, I gotta be out here in this cold, nippy-ass weather, this freaking brick-ass weather that... Man, it's brutal out here. It feels like it bites you. Like, that's how brutal it is. It's like -10. But I was like, you know what? Despite how cold it is out here, at least I'm getting some vitamin D. At least I'm getting some sunlight. And in that moment, when I said that in my head, I was pushing carts like inside of the building, and I just so happened to push it in front of somebody's way, and I'm like, oh, my bad, here, let me let you go first. And she was like, oh, no, it's all right, I'm getting sunlight. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, you know exactly, like, I don't know what I said, but I'm like, yeah. And I just laughed. But that's just like another example how you sometimes just retrieve that download in your head. Like, you get that thought that pops in your head that's like, hey, this is about to happen, heads up. And it manifests inside the physical reality right before your eyes. But you get that warning in your head a couple of minutes before. Another example, today, there was this pallet of just cereal boxes on the back wall. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, am I supposed to move it? Because it does not belong here. Like, none of this stuff gets flexed out in this area. I got to move it over to the cereal side. So I'm grabbing this, what is it? This hand truck. And I'm moving the pallet. And in my head, I'm like, all right, I don't know what I'm doing right now, but I hope my team lead comes from behind and helps me. And then a couple seconds later, I turn around and I see my team lead approaching me. And I'm like, hey, how do you do this? What am I doing? What am I supposed to do with it? And that's just like, those are just a couple examples that I have for you guys of how the universe will communicate with you. Again, it doesn't have to be it. It doesn't have to be it giving you signs. It doesn't have to be it necessarily nudging you into the right direction, or it could be that, but sometimes it could just be it presenting itself in front of you and being like, hey, just a reminder, I'm still here, I'm still trying to communicate with you, don't forget about me. So if you guys relate to anything that I've said in this video, please share some experiences down below. Again, this is what I've experienced. This is life through my eyes. If you don't agree, that's totally fine. You know, take this information, apply it to your life, or disregard it. In one ear, out the other. You know, whatever it is, however you please. Do without will. I mean, that's, I don't know if I should be saying that. That's like an Aleister Crowley saying, I think. But you get my point, all right? You guys do what you want to do. Let me think if there's anything else I gotta say. No, I mean, just understand that I want you to take away from this is that the universe is going to communicate with you every single day. Be aware, be open to receive, all right? Be open to receive. Put the pride away. Just tell that voice in your head, tell your ego, be like, hey, be quiet for a second. I need to be open, I need to be present. And you will receive the message. Sometimes it's right in front of you, bro. Like, it could be like, if you're listening to music, it could be like the lyrics that they're saying inside of the song that's trying to tell you a message. Or it could be like an ad or a billboard that you see driving. Like, it literally, it's always communicating with you. You just have to be aware. So, with all that being said, I hope you guys have a good day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe. Take your vitamin D, take your zinc, drink lots of fluid, be healthy, and yeah, take care of your people. I love y'all. Take care of yourself. Peace.